Hi there, Christoph here with a quick demo on how to do accessibility testing on Safari on a Mac. Not sure how it works in Windows and elsewhere, but on the Mac it's pretty straightforward. So here on the right hand side you see this little window that's in System Settings, Accessibility, VoiceOver. And the point, what this does here is, let's say you have low vision, you're blind, you can't even see the screen at all, you need to use some other way to interact with this interface. The operating system will read out to you what's on the screen one by one, and then you get to select the different elements. You're like next, 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 next. Every time you do next, or previous, it tells you what you just selected, and then you have the option to interact with it. So all the UI elements need to have some way to describe what they are. As visual people, I see these icons up here. I know what moon stands for. I know what this little logo stands for, but as a low vision person, I cannot see it. So there needs to be text that says it's Twitter, this is language, this is, change theme or something like that. So let's go in. I'm gonna use BTC Pay, point of sale. Sorry, BTC Pay. I'm gonna go to this checkout page. The way I enable this voiceover here is I just press this little toggle, or here on my computer I can press Command key and press the Touch ID 3 times. So I'm going to do that, and then let's see what happens.
VoiceOver on Safari. BTC Pay Invoice window. BTC Pay Invoice web content has keyboard focus. You are currently on a banner inside of web content.
Okay, so you can tell one thing is selected at a time, and it kind of tells me the context of this and then what it is. And I can use the arrow keys left and right to go between the elements within my box. Up and down goes like back to the Safari UI, but I want to stay within the website, so I'm just going to use left and right. I'm going to press the right arrow key now.
Heading level 1. Nicola Donation Store. End of banner. Main. You are currently on a main inside of web heading level 2. 0.00000037 BTC.
Yep.
You are currently on a heading level 2.
Okay, so you can kind of tell the different aspects of what I can select and then how it reads these things out to me. For something like this amount here, it might be, you could add something like a title tag or an area label that says amount to pay or so, 0.00 whatever BTC. That might be a little bit helpful there, but it's not a deal breaker here.
View details. Collapsed button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option Space.
Cool. So instead of Control, Option Space, I can also just hit the space bar. Pay attention to what happens now.
View details. Expanded button.
So I pressed it, the change happened, and it tells me what the new state is. It tells me this is now expanded. Now I can go through all of these.
Description list 4 items.
These different elements here.
0.0000. End of description list.
Okay,
you are currently on a description list. To move between items in this list, press Control, Option, right arrow or Control, Option, left arrow.
Okay, cool. Ignore that. So the next thing that I would have is that it selects the QR code, because that's the next big visual thing on the screen, right? I'm going to press Next.
Bitcoin, Lightning, image.
Okay.
You are currently on an image. To begin interacting with the contents of this image, press Control, Option, Shift down arrow.
So since I can see, I understand this is like a logo for the QR code that tells me this is like Bitcoin QR code, but as a low vision person, this is kind of useless information. And it did not select the QR code. In fact, the QR code is not selectable at all. So as a blind person, I don't even know this exists for me. It just doesn't exist, right? So there needs to be a little bit of extra markup, like some area label that makes this selectable, and then when you select it, reads out QR code for Lightning invoice to pay, whatever, like something like that. Where if I can't see it, it tells me what this is. I'm not sure how much blind people can use QR codes, but from videos I've seen is actually that they rely on the camera quite a bit to identify objects and other things. So probably good to make this Bitcoin logo not accessible. I think you can do that by setting the alt tag to empty, like define it but keep it empty, and then make the QR code accessible. Something also to consider is click to copy functionality.
LNBC 370N1 PJ9N7 FCPP
Okay.
Button.
As you can tell,
You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option Space.
And something else you notice is after selecting the Bitcoin logo, the next thing selected was the invoice. So as a visual reader, the next thing for me is the text Lightning, but relying on VoiceOver, the invoice itself was the next thing for me. So the order of Lightning and the invoice is mixed up. So this might just be in the HTML structure, switch those, or I think there's something like a tab order or so that you can set, but that's a little bit more intricate. But fixing that order might be helpful. And then the other thing, I'm gonna go back here to
Lightning
this
button. You are currently on a button. To click this button, press Control, Option Space.
Yeah, this is kind of a mystery button now. It doesn't tell me what it does, right? It just says it's a button. Cool. What does it do? I guess I could guess from context, but that's not really helpful. Visually, I can identify that this is the copy icon if I'm familiar with this. If not, then I might also guess. I'm going to activate it now by selecting space. I get visual feedback, the check mark here. I can piece things together that it was just copied to clipboard. But a much better solution here would be to have the area labels that says, click to copy invoice. And then once I have activated it, just like at the top with the View Details button, tell me what the new state is, like copied to clipboard or so. That's really just 2 or 3 different HTML attributes. Pretty straightforward.
Lightning. You are currently on a text element. Button. Lightning. Link. Pay in wallet.
So
you are currently on a link. To click this link, press Control, Option Space.
It does allow me to select the Lightning text, but it just comes in the wrong place in the order. Really minor thing. Pay in wallet, that button looks good, tells me what it is, what happens, all good there. So I'll keep it at this. I think this encapsulates a lot of the pretty basic issues that are kind of all over the place, unfortunately, where elements are not selectable at all that should be selectable. Or buttons do not provide, icon buttons don't explain what they are, or that you interact with something and that there's no feedback. Luckily, all of these, I think within half an hour, or a little bit more with testing, you can fix a ton of this stuff. There are even code libraries that automatically analyze your code and then tell you it's like a linting tool that you can run and set up for your framework that will tell you about all these issues. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to turn the accessibility
VoiceOver off
with Command and Touch ID 3 times. And it was helpful. And let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.